Let's talk about Mercury going retrograde in the mutable earth sign of Virgo. In Virgo energy, our focus turns to the details of life, often our daily habits, our health, our nutrition, things we have put off, things we haven't been taking care of that we now have to pay attention to. Mercury stations retrograde on August 23rd and it turns direct September 15th. And I'm calling this transit of Mercury retrograde in Virgo self-love in action. Why self-love in action? Because we've had Venus retrograde for some time, turning our focus inward on our inner child, how we take care of ourselves, how we nurture our heart's desires, our passions, love and our romantic lives, our creative expression. And then Mercury goes retrograde and we say, let's now put into action what we've learned through this self-love upgrading Venus retrograde. So in this video, my friend, I'm going to share with you how you can best work with this Mercury retrograde in Virgo energy, the aspects that Mercury retrograde is going to be making to some other key planets, including Uranus and Jupiter, the planet of expansion, as well as the key dates that we're going to be receiving this supportive energy. And as always, I'll be doing readings for all 12 signs, letting you know in which house, which area of your life you're going to be experiencing this Mercury retrograde, as well as pulling an oracle card for each of the 12 signs. Now, I highly encourage you to watch the first part of this video, the introduction to this video, before you jump to your 12 sign readings. Why? Because this is where I share with you how you can best work with the energies, and also we have very supportive aspects during this transit, so I don't want you to miss that information. So before I go further, I want to say welcome. If you are new to me, let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm really happy to have you here. I'm glad you found me. Welcome to those of you who have been watching my videos for some time. I'm super grateful for you. Thank you for your support of my channel, and welcome to my Sunday chat friends. Every Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific time is when we gather in like-minded community for the premiere of my videos. So I warmly invite you to join us Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And if you like my vibe, be sure and subscribe and tap the notification bell so you get a reminder of when I upload my next video. I'm Betsy. I am a psychic astrologer as well as an intuitive life coach. And it's my joy, my dedication, my passion to empower you through the astrology. In my videos, as well as my professional astrology consultations, I weave together spiritual principles, divine downloads, intuitive insights, and Western tropical astrology. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you more about my astrology consultations as well as my coaching services so you can get a sense of whether you feel called to work with me. And I have a free gift for you. So be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video so you can receive your free gift. And if you'd like to receive my weekly inspirational astrology updates, you can go to my website now and subscribe for free to those updates, and you will get that free instant download when you subscribe. Now, Mercury retrogrades tend to slow us down. We've all had that experience of being stuck in traffic when we're already 10 minutes late for an appointment, right? Or when your flight gets canceled, or when you have a miscommunication with someone near and dear to you and it causes a lot of stress for both of you. Mercury retrogrades tend to show us something that we didn't see before. They bring something to light. Sometimes they bring us a revelation. So even though Mercury turns retrograde August 23rd, we have been in the pre-shadow period since August 3rd. August 3rd is when Mercury began moving over the degrees that it will be moving over during the retrograde period. And this means you may have already received some sort of foreshadowing, some sort of sense of what you have to work on, what you have to fix or redo or review, or maybe a document that you have to find, something like that, something you need to organize, something you need to clear or cleanse. You may already have a sense of what that is for you, even before we get to that August 23rd Mercury turning retrograde date. Mercury retrogrades also have what we call a post-retrograde shadow period, and that is after the retrograde. Mercury is going direct over those degrees that it retrograded over. And during that period, we're integrating what we learned during the Mercury retrograde period. And Mercury entered Virgo on July 28th. So all in all, Mercury is in Virgo for over 2 months. And this is quite a bit longer than a normal Mercury transit, right? Normally, Mercury is in a sign for 3 weeks, 4 weeks at the most. So wherever you have Virgo in your chart, in your natal astrology chart, this is where you're being asked to focus, to reassess, to review. There's something here for you, my friend. There's some sort of information, some sort of an emphasis on this area of your life right now. When we get to the 12 sign readings, I will be sharing with you, of course, which area of life that is for you. Now, who will feel this Mercury retrograde transit most personally, most intensely? Mercury will be retrograding over the degrees of 8 to 21 of Virgo, 8 to 21. So if you have planets or points between 7 and 22 degrees of Virgo, or the other mutable signs of Gemini, Sagittarius, or Pisces, you will feel this Mercury retrograde more personally, more intensely. It may be more annoying for you. Or if you are a Gemini or a Virgo, Geminis and Virgos are ruled by Mercury. And so you experience Mercury retrogrades more intensely. But you don't need me to tell you that. You already know that. Mercury is known as the winged messenger. This is where we can get epiphanies and downloads and aha moments. Mercury rules our communication, written and verbal, our emails, our speaking, our back and forth conversations, our texting. It also rules our devices, our electronics, and forms of transportation, our vehicles. It rules flight travel. It rules anything that we would call logistical arrangements. And because Mercury rules our thinking, we can get confused during Mercury retrograde. We can be less clear. We can be often more intuitive. And so we get more information intuitively, which is really beautiful and helpful. But when it comes to really paying attention to the details, that's where we can fall short a bit. So we tend to make more typos during Mercury retrogrades. We tend to miss certain facts. This is why we say it's not the best time to sign a contract or to sign a lease or take out a mortgage or make a big purchase, because we're not always as attuned to those really nitty-gritty, individual, important details as we would be when Mercury's direct. Additionally, there are often things we could not possibly know, like the time I took out a lease on an apartment and I didn't know the water heater was about to fail. How could I know that, right? There are things that you just couldn't know that seem to be more prevalent during a Mercury retrograde period. What I love about Mercury retrograde is it's a time that we can clean stuff up. We can go back over things. We can clear out our files. We can fix the things that we've been putting off. And often the reason that we say things go haywire during Mercury retrogrades, mechanical failures and things like that, is because we got a message earlier on that there was a problem, that there was something we needed to fix, and we just kind of swept it under the rug for a little bit. And then it gets bigger. It really gets our attention during a Mercury retrograde period. Now, one beautiful thing about Mercury retrograde in Virgo is that Mercury is exalted in Virgo. What does this mean? It means that Mercury does very well in Virgo. This is where we're analytical, we're logical, and we tend to be more mindful of the important details. Now, Mercury in Virgo is about wellness. It's about health and nutrition, our daily habits. Why? Because Virgo energy is the 6th house of the zodiac. The 6th house rules our routines, our schedules, our daily ins and outs, the things that we do on a regular basis. In the big picture, Virgo is known as the archetype of the practical healer. So this is really body-based energy. I know a lot of Virgos who are Reiki masters. They are energy healers. They're yoga teachers. In Virgo energy, and insurance brokers too, in Virgo energy, we are attuned to what we need for the wellness, for our all-around wellness of our lives. So Virgo, I really think of as health on all levels: physical health, emotional health, mental health, spiritual health. And because it's ruled by Mercury, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, we do have a focus often on our mental health, our mental well-being. Virgo helps us create order out of chaos. So often we talk about Virgos as being very organized. They can be very organized, or they can be like the absolute opposite of that. I can tell you that having a daughter who's a Virgo, she could be super like meticulous, everything in its place, or just let it all go. Virgo rules purification as well. So one of the best ways you can use this transit, my friend, is to do clutter clearing on any level. Clearing out your computer files, clearing out home stuff, clearing out emotional, doing some emotional release work, being attentive to the mental loops that are going on in your head. We all have them. Maybe introducing some mindfulness meditation, but just beginning to be aware of like, how positive is my mindset? How can I shift it to a more uplifted, more possibility focused mindset? In Virgo energy, we have the desire to improve things. Virgo finds the flaw. It finds the flaw. And the light side of that is then we can fine tune things. We can upgrade them. In Virgo energy, we want things to be really high quality. We want things to be just right. It's kind of a just right energy. So the dark side, or let's say the lower octave of Virgo energy, is perfectionism. Is like, no matter how well I do this, it's never good enough. It's like tinkering with something forever and ever, and you never put it out there because you always feel like it could be improved. That's where during this Mercury retrograde, we may have an opportunity to see that and then shift that and be like, no, I'm learning as I go. I need to put this out into the world. Now, because it's Mercury retrograde, it's not the best time to launch something brand new, but it is a really good time to do planning, to do vision boarding, to do, write out the business plan, create your agenda, get ready, prepare. It's a preparation energy. And then when Mercury goes direct, that's a really good time to begin launching something. And during this Mercury retrograde, we have 8 planets in retrograde. This is retrograde season, all around retrograde season. So what I love about this time is we get sort of a permission slip from the universe to reconfigure whatever it's like. We have a little bit of downtime. We have a little bit of space that we may not normally feel we have to do that preparation. Now, some of you are already aware that we have some overlap between the Venus retrograde and the Mercury retrograde. For about 10 days between August 23rd and September 3rd, both planets, both Venus and Mercury, will be retrograde. And what I feel is happening here is that we're receiving insights through this Venus retrograde. We've been focused during Venus retrograde on upgrading our self-love, on tending to our inner child, on looking at where's the passion in our life, and can we get that passion back, and can we give ourselves permission to do more full-out self-expression? There's a freedom, a liberation that wants to happen during this Venus retrograde that we're being encouraged to relax and loosen up a little bit and let ourselves be less perfectionistic. This is happening during Venus retrograde. Then Mercury retrograde comes along. They overlap. And what I feel this is bringing our focus to Venusian themes of love, beauty, pleasure, comforts, creativity, giving ourselves permission to come fully alive and to really value our heart's desires. So I feel that during this Mercury retrograde, we are going to be taking that Venus retrograde kind of information, insights, and realizations, and we're going to be applying it to the mercurial the mercurial areas of our life, our thinking, our perceptions. So let me give you a quick example. So say you work really hard and maybe you've been overworking, or you just haven't had such a great balance between work and pleasure and fun. Maybe you just haven't been giving yourself enough fun. Maybe you haven't been tending to your inner child as much as you are realizing during Venus retrograde that is good for you. Then Mercury retrograde comes along and you start to see your thinking. You start to be aware of your perceptions and the way you're doing your life. In Virgo, it's our habits, our daily habits, our routines. And then perhaps you adjust a routine. Perhaps you adjust a story such as, I have no time for that. I have no time for adventure. I have no time for fun. I can't just pull out my crayons or put on music and dance, whatever it is for you. And you become aware of your thinking around that, and then you shift that as well. This is a beautiful time with Venus and Mercury retrograde overlapping. This is a beautiful time to shift our inner dialogue, to be less perfectionistic, to give ourselves more of a pass, to allow ourselves to be more human and less ideal and less self-critical and less critical of others as well. It's an invitation right now to be more compassionate with self and others, more allowing, infuse more humor perhaps in the daily bits of life. And if you're late to something, well, you're human. And if you have to replace a device, well, it will all work out. Believe me, I have replaced numerous devices with Mercury and Gemini. I have replaced a lot of devices, some of which I have lost to the ocean, and lots of other things that have happened because Mercury retrogrades really affect me. And what I've learned from that experience is that everything works out in the end. So some great news I have for you. We have 3 really supportive aspects during this Mercury retrograde. I think a lot of us are going to feel like, wow, that was Mercury retrograde. That wasn't even so stressful. That I've had much worse Mercury retrogrades. And I think that's because we're going to have these 3 supportive aspects. So let me tell you what they are, and then we'll get to the 12 sign readings. So the first one, and I'm going to give you the key dates for these as well. So from August 19th, and that is 3 days before the retrograde, from August 19th until August 27th, and then again September 29th to 30th, we're going to have Mercury retrograde at 21 degrees, trining Uranus in Taurus at 23 degrees. Now, I know these planets will be 2 degrees apart. They will not be exact. However, I still feel we're going to feel this energy. Uranus in Taurus making a trine to Mercury. Uranus in Taurus is the highest octave of communication. This is divine downloads. This is solutions. This is new opportunities coming in for us. Mercury is known as sort of everyday communication. Uranus is like where we get that cosmic intelligence streaming through. They are working together. They're trining. This is ease and grace. This is really beautiful energy. 2 degrees apart. I think we're going to feel this. I think we're going to get the benefits of new information coming through. If we have a glitch, if we have something that is unsettling or inconvenient during this Mercury retrograde, I think we're going to have Uranus, at least during this time of August 19th to the 27th, I think we're going to receive help from our spiritual guides. We'll receive the support that feels like divine direction. So this could show up as stimulating out-of-the-box ideas and encounters. This could show up as eccentric people coming into your life that maybe you don't stay in your life for very long, but they wake you up in some way. They set you on a new course in some way, if not just delight you, something that you end up telling other people about because it's really different and unique and uplifting. This can be epiphanies, it can be ahas, it's big realizations, it's awakening moments. Ultimately, this is about freeing us. This is about liberating us and bringing us tangible reward, tangible life upgrade kinds of blessings. And when I was preparing for this video, I got the song in my head, Higher Love by Steve Winwood, the song Bring Me a Higher Love. Whoa, a lot of you probably know that song. What I love about that song is he's basically bemoaning that we're in this really difficult, stressful world, and there must be something higher. There must be a love out there for me. There must be a connection out there for me. And so, these things don't come into my head by accident. It's always synchronous. It's always auspicious. So during this Mercury retrograde, and with Venus retrograde too, during this time, right? This is when we could call in that higher love. This is when we can call in that more soul-connected friendship or that business idea, that passion that we put aside, that we put on the shelf and we haven't done since we were a kid. This is electric energy. This can affect our nervous system and our sleep, so we want to take really good care of ourselves in that way, and I think we will because Virgo energy is about self-care. Not only this, but we have Jupiter in Taurus, so now it's Uranus in Taurus making an aspect to Mercury retrograde, and then we have Jupiter in Taurus making an aspect to Mercury retrograde. What do Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus have in common? Well, Taurus is ruled by Venus, and this is tangible, 5 senses, things that we can feel and touch, blessings. This is upgrades in our material, physical, earthly life. Can I get an amen? Jupiter expands what it touches as long as our mindset is in a positive place. And I don't mean be positive when you are feeling down or sad or angry, we need to release those emotions. But as long as our mindset is in a place of abundance, possibility thinking, we're looking outside of our daily containers of thinking. As long as we're doing that, we can receive these tangible earthly blessings of Jupiter. Now, what are the key dates for this? The key dates are September 2nd to the 6th. This will be exact. These planets, Jupiter and Mercury, will be exact on September 4th. And then when Mercury goes direct, they will meet up again on September 25th. The other thing that Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus have in common is this is about self-worth. This is about deserving. This is about us owning our value and knowing what it is that we have to offer others and that we deserve to receive that reciprocity back. So we very well may be given some sort of awakening if we're not in that place of knowing our value and knowing what we deserve. We may be shown that during this time, so we can shift that. And lastly, for aspects, supportive aspects during this Mercury retrograde, we also have on September 5th, the Sun and Mercury conjoining, coming together. We call this the Mercury cazimi. This is where the sun, the light of the sun, the life force energy of the sun infuses Mercury, our thinking, our perceptions, our awareness, our mindfulness, infuses Mercury with solar power. So this is a really beautiful aspect. And this is a fresh start aspect. When I tuned into this energy, I felt a fresh start. I felt like, you know, those days that you wake up in the morning, you're like, this feels like a new day. Like this feels like a big picture, a new day. Like this is the page is turning, the chapter is turning. I have new hope, new optimism. I felt that. And what's cool is that during this Sun Mercury conjunction, this cazimi, we also have the Jupiter Mercury trine. So during these early days of September, I feel like this is a period of time that we're really going to feel this support. We're going to get a lot of support to start fresh and renew our thinking, renew our minds, bring new hope and optimism into our everyday thinking. Okay, my friends, so let's do the 12 sign readings now. Be sure and listen to your rising sign. This is the area of life in which you will be experiencing this Mercury retrograde transit. Now, many of you have Virgo in more than one area of your chart. For example, I have Virgo in my 3rd house and in my 4th house. So if that's true for you, listen to the readings for both houses. These readings are based on your rising sign, based on whole sign houses, but I also encourage you to listen to your sun sign and your moon sign as you may receive further intuitive messages as well. Okay, let's start with Virgo. Hello, beautiful Virgo. Virgo, you are having this transit of Mercury retrograde in your sign in your 1st house. Your 1st house is your house of identity. It's the I am. It's how you see yourself. It's how you want others to see you. This is the ego's self-image. It's also known as our personality. So this is where we look at what roles do you play in your life, your professional roles. What is your title if you have a title? What roles do you play in your personal life? The titles of like sister, brother, mother, father, child, like grandparent, like all of those roles. This is where you might receive downloads and information about changing a role. A 1st house transit of Mercury is where it's our thinking and our ideas and our stories about who we are. So this is a time that you could be rewiring your mind about who you are, who you see yourself to be, who you want to be. You could be changing a job. You could be changing a role. You could be letting go of responsibilities or taking on new responsibilities that give you a new title. Some of you will be getting promotions. Others of you will be changing jobs. Others of you may start a new business. Others of you may become a business owner, for example, or you let go of a business and you go back to work for someone else. But ultimately, what we're looking at is reviewing, reassessing, correcting, fixing something that has to do with your self-image. So you could also be changing something in your appearance, although remember that Venus is also retrograde for part of this time of the Mercury retrograde. So until Venus goes direct After the beginning of September, I definitely wouldn't change anything in your, that's, like plastic surgery, anything that's really permanent in your appearance, but you may want to go out and, change your hair, or your makeup, or your clothing, your look, so to speak, because it is our look as well, this house. This is also the house of vitality. So this is a time that you could really be doing some clearing, great time for detoxification on any level, physically, emotionally, mentally, and doing some clearing. You might clean out your closet. What a great thing to do during a first house Mercury retrograde, cleaning out your closet, getting rid of clothes. That's always when new things can come into your life too. When you gift things to others, or you pass them on, you recycle them, repurpose them, and so on. So beautiful, Virgo. I am shuffling the cards and I'm going to see, let's see, let's see what the cards have to say for Virgos. Mercury retrograde in your sign, beautiful Virgo. Okay, I love this. This is the medicine guardian. Be open to healing information. Look at all the green in this card, Virgo. When I think of your energy, I think of green. And this to me reminds me of Archangel Raphael, the healer that is known for the physical body, right? Physical healing. So the medicine guardian is coming to you and you're being invited. You can see the caduceus here. This is about physical health. Is there something that I always think of cleanse when I think of our energy, and I know that, and maybe you already know this too, Virgo, that your sign rules the digestive system. So there could be something for you here about purifying in what you eat, getting your digestion going more, anything to do with the physical body. Spending time in nature with all this green. We are receiving many heart activations during this Venus retrograde, with the Lionsgate portal that as I'm filming this, we're just finishing that up. We have the Venus Sun Cazimi. We have, there's even more. There's so much that's going on during this time that is activating our heart center. So you could feel that too. You could receive a heart healing as well. And that affects us obviously physically, affects us on every level when we receive a heart healing. But you know what it is, Virgo. Is there something in your physical body that needs attention? If so, call on Archangel Raphael and know that you've got lots and lots of support right now for your own physical healing. Okay, Leos. Hello, beautiful Leos. What a Leo season we've had, Leos. Oh my goodness. Happy birthday to those of you who haven't had your birthday yet. What a beautiful Leo season with Venus retrograde, with the Venus Cazimi, with the Lionsgate. Oh my gosh, it's been so powerful. I hope you have received the benefits of it and are continuing to receive the benefits of it. So Leo, we now have a Mercury retrograde in your second house of values, self-esteem, self-love, which is so beautifully in line with the Venus retrograde. Also, this is the house of earned income. This is the house of material security. So for you guys, you may be doing some reviewing, reassessing around how you earn your income, around jobs, around a promotion you want, maybe applying for new jobs. You could also be receiving information, intuitive downloads to do with what you value most now, how your values have possibly shifted, or this could have to do with bank accounts. This could have to do with money that you stashed under your bed, or I guess it's under your mattress is how we say it. Wherever this is money that's coming in for you that you may be thinking about, like, why do I have this in the savings account and I'm earning like 1 cent a month or something? Okay, that's me. But just thinking about what you want to do with your money, what possessions you want to buy. You could be thinking about buying a new possession. As I said earlier in the video, I don't recommend big purchases until we're through with Venus and Mercury retrograde. That would be a much better time. But, always keep your receipt. And as long as you can take something back, if you really need it, people always ask me if I really, really need something. Well, yes, of course, if you really need something. And actually, Mercury retrograde favors us purchasing things that have broken, that we need to replace or that we need to fix. But always keep your receipts. And this, you may feel this in that area of self-worth and deserving as well, because this is a lot about deserving. We have Jupiter and Uranus aspecting this Mercury retrograde, as I go into detail about during the first part of this video, where we are really focused on awakening to what we deserve, awakening to our self-worth. So beautiful, Leos. I am shuffling the cards for you. And let's see what the cards have to say for Leos during this Mercury retrograde. Okay, Leo, your card is Guardian Angel. You are not alone. I love this card. When I see this card, I think of Uranus energy, because this is like so outer space, and this feather. And now there are all these sirens in the background. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to hear those, because I do reduce the background noise, but when I edit the video. But there's so much cosmic awakening energy in this card. I feel it so strongly. You see the eye, the third eye. So I feel like this could be a third eye activation for you. We definitely had that possibility during the Lionsgate portal. There is a sun and the moon across from each other. So this card is about balance, and this card is about receiving guidance from your guardian angel, yes, but also from ancestors that have passed on. And what I feel like this card is saying is, remember that you are a part of when you look up to space, and it makes us realize that we are, not only are we so much more supported than we think we are, but that we're part of such a bigger universe, and that like the little tiny things in life that really annoy us and can cause us inconveniences, especially during a Mercury retrograde, that they pale in comparison to the fact that we're spiritual beings. And yes, those human experiences can be really annoying, but you are a spirit of pure love. You are protected. You are guided. You have angels. You have spiritual sustenance that you can reach out for, beautiful Leo. You are not alone. Okay, Cancers. Hello, beautiful Cancer. I have my rising and my moon in Cancer. So Cancers, you will experience or are experiencing this Mercury retrograde in your third house. Now, the third house is very much connected to Mercury energy. It's ruled by Mercury. It is the house of communication, of our mindset, ideas, perceptions, conversations, emails, our writing, our typos, it's our devices. It is all the stuff that we talk about when we talk about Mercury retrograde. So before you groan, or maybe you're already groaning, Cancers, and me too, I'm right there with you. Know that during this Mercury retrograde, as I spoke about earlier in this video, we're going to have some really positive aspects from Jupiter and Uranus, the higher octave of Mercury, and we'll have that Mercury Sun Cazimi. So we're going to get a lot of support during this Mercury retrograde time, which will hopefully make it easier. Not only that, Cancer, but you're getting a sextile. Your energy makes a sextile with Virgo energy, and that is opportunities, that is solutions, that is I like to use the example of you're on a plane and the flight is almost completely full, and you've got someone right next to you, you're in the middle seat, you've got people on either side, and you're like, how can I do this for the next 5 hours? And then you see the flight attendant and you say, is that seat available? And she goes, the whole row is empty, you can take it. And you're like, oh my God, I just won the lottery, right? So that's a sextile. You see an opportunity, but you have to take advantage of it. You have to take a step, you have to ask, you have to say yes. And when you do, then you get it. We have to be more active with sextiles than we do with trines, for example, that just kind of happen, but it also keeps us more we're motivated. Basically, we have to say yes to the motivation. It keeps us more awake and aware of what's going on in our lives and our opportunities. Okay, is there anything else I want to tell you? Just that you could be more electrified, and you could have sleep. Your sleep could be affected during this time. You'll probably probably be more busy than usual. Just really pay attention, Cancers, to what needs, anything needing correcting, repairing, or clearing in terms of your technology. So, or any communication that you have, just this is where we can have those miscommunications, where we can say something in a way we didn't intend to. Follow up is so important always, but especially during this time, double checking things you've written. When you make flight plans, make sure that you got the right destination and the right place, the right, place you're leaving from, those kinds of things. Those are the kinds of things that can just get missed during a Mercury retrograde in Virgo. But in the third house, also you have the opportunity to go back and review and create a healing with neighbors, siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, the extended family people. This is where we can, we can clarify things. We can have healings and improve things in any of these areas. It's a self-improvement, life improvement kind of everyday, this is your local environment. It's that kind of a transit. Anything in your local environment is where Uranus in Taurus and Jupiter in Taurus aspecting this wants us to have a life upgrade. So ultimately, this is a freeing, liberating life upgrade kind of Mercury retrograde. Okay, let's pull a card for you, beautiful Cancer. I've been shuffling, so let's see what we got for Cancers. Cancer, your card is the Wise One. Grow within your current situation. So here we have the Wise One. To me, this person looks like the crone, the one who has been through the battles and has come out stronger, more resilient, more sage than before she went through these things. The owl is on her shoulder. She is receiving divine epiphanies and guidance from the owl, from her owl companion. She is dressed in green. She has you guys always correct me if I get it wrong, but this is some sort of a blackbird, and it looks like a very wise blackbird. I'm spacing out right now on the name of, yes, it could be a crow, but it could also be a raven, right? I was thinking raven. Receiving magical, alchemical information. So there's going to be growth for you during this transit. I hope that it's graceful growth. I hope that it comes with ease. I hope that it comes with gentleness for you. And you can ask for that, Cancer. You can say, whatever growth I need to receive right now, please bring it in a gentle way. Please make it easier. Please don't give me a jolt when I could get a nudge instead. And I promise to be open to nudges. Okay, beautiful Cancer. You are the Wise One. This is also a validation of that for you. You are so connected. Oh, and there's another. It's her feather. I saw the feather in her hair too. So many passed on loved ones and ancestors waiting to assist you, beautiful Cancer. Just ask and you shall receive. Okay, Geminis. Hello, beautiful Geminis. I have my natal sun in Gemini. So Geminis, you're having this transit of Mercury in retrograde in your fourth house of home, family, and childhood conditioning. This is the house of our roots. This is the very bottom of our chart. This also is where subconscious mind stuff comes up for healing and rewiring. And often during a Mercury retrograde, we rewire something in our subconscious minds. Gemini, you probably already know this. And sometimes this does take the earthly manifestation of like a package going missing. That happened to me recently, right when Mercury went into its pre-shadow. Right, literally on that day is when I sent a package off to return, and now who knows where it is. And I can't find the receipt. So there you go. But I am holding the vision that it is found and that everything gets taken care of, and that if not, I'm always really vigilant about keeping receipts, but I was packing for a trip. You can see I'm in a different place right now. I was packing for a trip, and I had various pieces of luggage and I don't know exactly where I put that receipt. I can't find it. Anyway, my point is that whatever way this energy manifests, because Virgo energy does make a square to Gemini energy. Now, because they are both Mercury ruled, I feel like there is definitely compatibility there, but it does square your energy. And by the way, that day that my package went missing, that I sent it off and then who knows where it went, the Mercury in its pre-shadow was squaring my sun. So there you go. You can't make this stuff up. But anyway, I feel, my Gemini friends, that you are going to receive new information during this time, that you will be, it's not the best time, of course, to sign a lease or sign any important document, any contract, anything that's going to be long-term, permanent, that you want to be long-lasting, because we tend to not see the details that we need. But because this is your fourth house, the house of your roots, the house of belonging, where you want to feel a sense of belonging, you may be doing something to your home, like improving, fixing, reviewing. Do I still want to be in this home? You could be having a change in your family. You could be having a difficult conversation with a family member. You could experience a healing through a conversation like that. Or you could be revisiting some childhood conditioning, doing some shadow work on your upbringing, that brings you more freedom, more liberation, more overall well-being, more happiness and fulfillment. Beautiful Gemini. So I am shuffling the cards for you, and we're going to pull a card for you. And because this is the fourth house and you've got the 10th house of career immediately across from this house, you may be feeling some sort of like needing to balance work and family. You may be feeling some stress with a lot of demands, both with home and family, personal life versus professional life, and just you're striking a balance, Gemini. You're doing the best you can. You're doing the best you can. And that's what I would keep telling myself. I'm doing the best I can, and I would keep rechecking in with my priorities. What's my priority in this moment? Is it this work thing, or is it this home thing? I'm experiencing that right now when I'm here with my kids, where my kids live and my grandchildren, and I really want to spend a lot of time with them, but I also have responsibilities to my work, and I love my work, and I love all of you, and I want to give you what I give you regularly. So I'm balancing those two things too. So I completely get it if you're experiencing that. Okay, so all we can do is the best we can. All right, Gemini. Gemini, your message is, okay, I love this card. It's called Broken Arrow, and I'm going to tell you what it means. And it says, embrace the energy of peace. And what this card means is that if you look at this card, you can see there's a shield, okay? And there's these arrows. And the broken arrow means that you no longer have to shield yourself in ways that you may have in the past. In the past, you may have felt like I really need I need to have a wall up. I need to protect myself. I can't trust that the people around me or the universe, for example, my community, people at work, whatever it is for you, home, family of origin, I can't trust that they have my back. So I'm going to erect this wall, this shield to keep me safe. This card says that arrow is broken. That arrow of having to be vigilant and having to protect yourself in that sort of more, what we would call more ego kind of based way. Yes, you needed that when you were a child. Yes, we all developed coping mechanisms and safety mechanisms, psychological ways to keep ourselves protected, but you no longer need that, Gemini, is what this is saying. You no longer need that. And it says, embrace the energy of peace. It's safe to feel at peace now, beautiful Gemini. It's safe to trust. What I'm getting right now intuitively is it's safe to trust that there are guardians and guides that want to help you, that want to give you information, that are behind the scenes working with you. So remember to call on them. Remember to ask them for guidance. You're not doing this alone. Okay, Taurus. Hello, beautiful Taurus. Taurus, you are having this transit of Mercury retrograde in your fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, self-expression, coming alive, having fun, having adventures, being playful. Oh, also you're getting a trine, okay? From this Mercury retrograde in Virgo, which is earth energy and your earth energy, you get a trine. That means positive energy flow, grace, and ease. So I feel like you're gonna probably really enjoy this time of Mercury going through this house for you. You may go back and review something in love, romance, creativity, or children. You may be fine-tuning. You may be upgrading. You may be improving. Going back over something. You know, I'm thinking of like some of you might want to buy a new paint set if you're a painter. Some of you might want to buy, you know, take an adventure. Some of you may say, yeah, I need time for more fun. Like Mercury retrograde helps us to reassess our thinking around something. Maybe you're reassessing your thinking around dating or romance. Maybe you haven't been dating and now you're thinking maybe I want to date. Or you have been dating and you're like, no, I think I'm going to take a break from that for now. And I think I'm just going to focus the love on myself for a little while. And some of you could be thinking, do I want to have a child? You could be going through that thought process. Is this or the way that we're going about conceiving, is this the way that we want to do it? Any of those areas of life, it's about going within and reflecting and cleaning anything up that needs cleanup during this time. So, beautiful Taurus. And I know you've had, you know what it's like to have Uranus in your sign. You got Jupiter in your sign now, which is super great. But you're going to be getting some positive energy from those planets as well during this. Mercury is going to be getting some positive energy from those planets during this retrograde as well. Okay, Taurus. What is your message, Taurus? Your message is, ooh, I love this card. The Medicine Mother. Honor your inner nurturing. Okay, I have to put my glasses on because I think that last word may not have said that right. Close. Well, I mean, Virgo's about nurturing and Taurus is about nurturing too. So I'm gonna say that wasn't a mistake, but I'm gonna tell you what the card says more specifically. The Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. Okay, and it's funny because Mercury energy is like what we know in our bones, what we know in our gut, what we know in our body's wisdom. There is something here for you, and this is Virgo energy too, Taurus, and this is your energy. You know in your gut, you know in your belly. Taurians know when it's time to make a move or not. You can just feel it in your body. So, and this Medicine Mother, she's so cool. Oh my gosh, she's so cool. I love the royal blue around her. To me, this is very royal energy. She's not afraid to dress in her, what I would consider like pretty eccentric garb, like probably for her with the tribe, the, society she comes from, this is probably maybe not so eccentric. But for us, it looks a little bit eccentric, but it's also super exotic and appealing. And this is your fifth house of coming out. This is the inner child. Remember when you were a child and maybe you wore all kinds of things that you wouldn't wear as an adult. Well, I feel like that's a message here too. Like allow yourself to fully self-express and go a little wild, Taurus. Go a little wild. What do you have to lose? Only you have to gain the delight of your inner child. And when you delight your inner child, you light up your life force and send that out to others and give others permission indirectly to do the same. And so there's two messages here, and big picture, honor your inner knowing and say yes to those inner nudges to go a little wild. Beautiful Taurus. Okay, Aries. Hello, beautiful Aries. Aries, you are having this transit of Mercury retrograde in Virgo in your sixth house of health. So perfect because the sixth house is Virgo energy. So sixth house of health, daily habits, daily work. This is not necessarily the work that you're passionate about, although it can be, but it's what you do on a daily basis. So for those of you who aren't working, this is whatever you do, whether you work out, whether you take walks, you spend time in nature, you clean your house, whatever you do. It is those mundane things that we do day in and day out that keep us feeling solid, that keep us feeling like we're grounded where we have a good sense of grounding. It's also your daily schedules and your, how much flexibility you have. Do you want more? Sixth house rules the digestive system. Virgo, as you're probably well aware, rules the digestive system too. So we're also looking here at your nutrition and your exercise habits, how often you move your body. Are you keeping yourself feeling vital, Aries? With a retrograde here in Mercury, something may be shifting in your thinking around these areas, around how you care for your body or your daily work. You may decide you want to make a change. Mercury retrogrades are times when we reflect and we review and we reassess, and we often get in new information, new downloads, new epiphanies. We learn, we get new information through conversations, hearing other people talk. This is coming to mind, so I'll share it. My daughters and I used to walk around Green Lake in the Seattle area, and it's a 3-mile walk. And we used to say, okay, I have a question, and like Spirit, what information do you want me to have around my love life, for example? And then the first thing we heard through another person's conversation walking by us was our answer. And we had to sort of decode that answer, metaphorically speaking, and apply it to our question. And so, I trust that that's coming through me right now for a reason to you all, because I wouldn't have thought of it otherwise. And, of course, success of health, daily walks, all of that. So take that for what it is, for whoever that speaks to. But Aries, with the 6th house of health, Mercury retrograde, I do feel that this is also purification energy with Virgo. I do feel that you're going to really be looking at fine-tuning or improving something in your life in terms of how you take care of you on all levels, physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. So let's pull a card for you now. See what the cards have to say for Aries. Aries, your card is, the spring. Spring is coming into your heart, beautiful Aries. See your seeds grow. There's a freshness about this. This is what I was saying when I was tuning into the aspects, that I was feeling a fresh new start with the Jupiter trine to Mercury energy and the Sun Mercury Cazimi, and those are both in early September. Well, this card is saying you're going to be feeling this. You can see this rabbit is vital, and there's beautiful greenery. I was going to say it's growing out of the rabbit, but it's behind the rabbit. But there's a lot of I just feel a lot of joy in this card. Feels like a lot of joy, Aries. And you've got the North Node in your sign now. I hope that you're feeling this. I hope you're feeling the desire to leap into new places in terms of your emotional happiness. That's what it feels like to me. It feels very much like emotional well-being. Your seeds are growing. You're going to see them grow. This is a card of manifestation. Allow the joy and delight to come into your heart, beautiful Aries. Embrace it. Just say yes. Okay, Pisces. Hello, beautiful Pisces. Pisces, you are having this transit of Mercury retrograde in Virgo in your 7th house of committed partnerships. Mercury retrograde transits are about assessing, reviewing, fine-tuning, improving. So you are thinking, this is our thinking, you're thinking about committed partnerships, committed relationships. These can be significant others in terms of romance, but they can also be clients. They can also be adult children. They're the people in our life with whom we share some sort of spoken or unspoken commitment to each other's well-being. This is an opposition to your energy. I'm sure you're well aware that Virgo opposes your energy, Pisces. So with an opposition, we often receive messages or awakenings through an external source. So an external relationship or some sort of event that shows us what Mercury wants to show us. And it doesn't have to be harsh. It doesn't have to be, we have some beautiful aspects to this Mercury transit that I discuss in the first half of the video. But this is you're going to feel this in your communication, most likely with the people that mean the most to you. Communication, you could have some communication, miscommunications. You could have just where you're fine tuning, like you're ironing things out. Maybe you're bringing stuff up. Mercury retrogrades are a time to iron out the kinks of things. Maybe you're bringing things up with your partner, if you have one, or with a business partner, or with a best friend that you haven't brought up before, that you kind of just put on the back burner, and because it was kind of uncomfortable maybe, and now you're bringing it up and you're airing it out, Pisces, and that's really freeing. This transit big picture wants to free and liberate us. So let's see what the cards have to say for Pisces. Pisces. Your card is the Snake. This is Kundalini energy. You're shedding an old skin. You may shed an old skin. You may be already feeling it. There's a lot of green in this card. This is heart activation. We've been having heart activation energy with the Lionsgate and with the Venus Sun Cazimi that's coming up, Venus retrograde, lots of heart activation. That's in this card. Some of you are having an ego death. Some of you are releasing an old self that is no longer needed, old coping mechanisms, old childhood conditioning. So you could feel that in your relationships during this time. You could feel like there's a relationship that you're letting go of, or that you're becoming aware that you have a dynamic with somebody that isn't healthy, and you shift that dynamic, or you set boundaries and they're not honored, and then you step back from that relationship. It could be all different ways. But what I love about this card is it's coming through this Kundalini awakening energy. The Snake is also sexuality. So you could have a really beautiful sexual opening or awakening experience during this Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde time as well. Beautiful Pisces. If this resonates for you, leave me a comment. I love connecting with you. Okay, Aquarius. Hello, beautiful Aquarius. Aquarians, you guys are having this transit of Mercury retrograde in Virgo in your 8th house of shared resources. That's time, money, and energy. This is a relationship house as well as a money house. So this is where we have agreements with significant people in our lives, and that affects our money, it affects our intimacy, it's sexuality, it's emotional intimacy as well. This is also taxes, debts, loans, investments. I feel that some of you are going to be really tending to, if you have investments, if you have retirement funds, all that kind of stuff, savings accounts, you're probably putting some focus there. You're making sure that, you filled out the forms you were supposed to fill out, or maybe you're switching accounts, maybe you're transferring money over from one to another, that kind of thing, opening up new things. And you just really want to be aware if there's something that you need to be attending to, because it does deal with, investments are, there are legal agreements involved, right? So that's important to pay attention to. And or you could be really working through some partnership stuff during this time, especially having to do with money or having to do with balance in your lives, or your partner could be going through something that you're helping them through, or that's triggering you in some way. Remember, Mercury rules our thinking, our perceptions, our view of life, our view of our relationships, and it also rules communication. So you could be ironing out some communication or having some communication stuff going on with regard to all the things that I just spoke about. So Aquarius, this 8th house is the house of transformation. It's the house of death and rebirth. You could shed a skin through an experience that you have. But remember, this is all about liberation and freedom. This is about you seeing life from new eyes and getting an awakening experience, a download or realization through that Uranus energy I spoke about earlier, or through that expansive Jupiter tangible blessings. Because Jupiter is making aspects to Mercury during this time, you could get unexpected money. You could have an inheritance come through. You could have some money come through that you were not planning on. And that would be extremely lovely, wouldn't it, Aquarius? Okay, so Aquarius, let me pull a card for you. Aquarius, you got the Moon card. It says, take note of intuitive messages. I love that a lot of the cards through this video, this reading on Mercury retrograde, have been about intuition. That is what happens often during a Mercury retrograde. We get more intuitive insights. We get less logical, and then that means we sometimes miss some details that we have to go back over, but we get more intuitive. We get more insight through our other faculties. So the moon is our subconscious self. The moon is also our divine feminine. So Aquarius, embrace that divine feminine. As I'm tuning into the moon right now, as I'm talking to you, there's a wholeness here. There's something coming to fruition. There's a harvest, maybe even, but there's also a healing of a subconscious part that maybe hasn't felt whole. 8th house is our often money that we count on, that we depend on to, sometimes it's like for old age, for example. So I feel like this card is saying there's a lot more available to you from your intuition, a lot more available to you from the moon herself, from the full moon herself. We are going to have a full moon in Pisces the very last day of this month, our second full moon of this month, 2 full moons in the month of August, a lot of moon energy this month. And so, not to mention the Leo new moon, which is opposing your energy, Aquarius. So I can see why the moon card came up for you. I think you're going to be getting a lot of wisdom this way. I would ask the moon to infuse you with her beautiful glow, her beautiful wisdom, her beautiful strength, her beautiful gorgeousness. I know those are fuzzy words, but I'm just feeling it. The reason I'm not coming up with the right words, it is a Mercury retrograde video, but not only that, I'm just feeling the energy. There's so much richness, so much substance, so much that is underneath the surface for you, beautiful Aquarius, that wants to come to light for you, that wants to be seen. Open up. Ask the moon to show you what you need to see to move forward. Okay, Capricorn. Hello, beautiful Capricorns. You guys are having this transit of Mercury retrograde in Virgo in your 9th house. Now, this 9th house area is where you're going to be improving, fixing, reviewing, redoing, going back over something. And that for you is your spirituality, your spiritual beliefs. It's higher learning. So it could be a course that you've been involved in, or that you were thinking about doing. You're thinking about going back to school. You're thinking about signing up for something that's going to expand your horizons. This is the house of expansion. This is the house where we expand our horizons. We see new vistas. It's what I call the road trip house. It's the road trip house. It's where we are in new environments, where we're in new scenery, and that expands our mind, expands our thinking, expands our hearts. The house of expansion, also the house of long distance travel. If you do plan long distance travel, maybe buffer in some extra space for yourself. Don't overschedule yourself, because this is where we can have travel glitches. But I would never not take a trip because it's Mercury retrograde. I actually think that Mercury retrograde is a beautiful time to take vacation, to get away, because that's when we are more tuned into our intuition than ever. So Capricorn, all of these things are up for you during this time. I would be surprised if a lot of you are not at least thinking, preparing, or planning some sort of new thing to do with other cultures, spiritual learning, getting a PhD, any of these things, your belief systems, that you're reflecting on this now. It's up for you. You're thinking about it. Mercury here is also publishing. 9th house is also publishing. It's also teaching. So you could really be thinking about, do I want to publish something? You could be writing something during this time to publish. I wouldn't publish it right now. If you want to have the best results, I would wait until, this is a great time to create it. It's great creation energy. And then put it out after Venus and Mercury go direct. At least that's what I would do, at least after Mercury goes direct. Okay, Capricorn, let's pull a card for you and see what the cards have to say for a Mercury retrograde in your 9th house of expansion. Your card is, ooh, the Warrior. Be fearless and stand your ground. I need to get my glasses for a minute. Stand strong. Okay, so this is a card that has come up for me in my past many times, so I know about this card. This card is when you do have something that's important to you that you might be fighting for, you might be negotiating with somebody about, but this is where you clearly have a strong sense of what you need, what you want, what's yours, and this says fight for it. This says, you know, I don't mean fist fight, you know that. I mean stand your ground. Know that you are in a place where of something that's important to you, it's a priority to you, and it is important that you take that seriously. You take your own knowing, your own intuitive knowing, your own, like your body's wisdom, you take that seriously. You trust it. This is a card of self-trust. Again, a lot of green energy, so much green heart energy coming up in the cards today with the heart activations we've been getting from all the Leo energies, all the Leo transits we've been having. So you're protected, you're guided. Call on the fierce warrior guide right here in this card if you need help to stand your ground. Beautiful Capricorn. And if you need support, know that I offer coaching support. I can give you support through an astrology consultation, or reach out to someone you trust who can support you to stand your ground if that would help support you. Okay, Sagittarius. Hello, beautiful Sages. Sag, you're having Mercury in retrograde in your 10th house of career. How many of you are reflecting right now on career matters, fulfillment, meaning? You want more. It's that house of something more, the house of passion, the house of vocation. I have to take a breath. The house of retirement, for some of you, semi-retirement, and the house of legacy. This is the top of your chart, the very top of your chart, the most public house. You could have with Mercury here a lot of conversations, a lot of interactions, a lot of downloads, a lot of ideas and inspiration flowing in for career matters. With Mercury in retrograde says, spend some time on this stuff. Spend some time thinking about, do you want to make changes in career? Is there some way you could free yourself or liberate yourself? Uranus aspecting this Mercury. Is there some way you can expand in your career, that passions that would make you feel more fulfilled? This is what's up for you. Because Mercury's retrograde, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you are really thinking about changing, leaving a job, starting a business, leaving a job, retiring, leaving a business, starting a new business, any of those things, or just what you're doing in your creative vocational life, thinking about how can I change it up to improve it, make it better, make it more supportive to you or to others or to others. Okay, Sag, let's see what your card is. Sagittarius. Your card is great teacher. Learn from spiritual experiences. When I see this card, I see Jesus. You might see something else, someone else, but what's important is that this is the card of the great teacher. Sag, you are also a great teacher. You are a sage. You have sage within your name, Sagittarius. And this is saying, I feel like he's letting go of this dove. I feel like he's been holding on tight to something and he's letting it go. He's surrendering to a certain degree. This is saying, learn from your experiences. Find the gift. If you are dealing with something right now that feels stressful, you're worried about something, you're not sure, you're seeking clarity, maybe there's something from your past that is knocking on your door, metaphorically speaking, to review as far as getting the gift from it. Some of you may feel stuck in career because you're still harboring something from the past, or you're still afraid that something that happened to you in the past would happen again if you took a risk in this lifetime. So this is why it's saying learn from spiritual experiences, because you've had them and they came to you for a reason. You've had losses for a reason. They were all building your spiritual strength. And when we can really get clear on what the gift was, then we can move on to the next thing. So leave me a comment, beautiful Sag. Let me know if this resonates for you. I feel like a lot of you are being called to make a change in the career area, to upgrade your career, your vocation, your passion, but there's something about reviewing your past spiritual experiences that will then liberate and free you to do so with joy and with peace. Okay, Scorpios. Hello, beautiful Scorpio. Scorpio, you're having this transit of Mercury retrograde in Virgo in your 11th house. And the 11th house is the house of social media. It's the house of friendships, groups, alliances. It is the house of hopes, wishes, and dreams. So it's like our ideal day, our ideal, whatever you're like. If I said, like, what is your heart's desire? What do you want more than anything else in your life right now? That's the 11th house. It's also the house of long-term gains. So it's a relationship house. It's a money house. It's also the world card in the tarot. It's like the world is my oyster. What do I want? It's also causes and humanitarian energy because it's ruled by Aquarian energy and Uranus, which is, you know, that connection to the cosmic intelligence. It's like everything you want is out there. It's a matter of knowing your clear intention and putting your intention clearly out into the universe, and then you can receive it back. So with a Mercury in retrograde here, you may be reviewing friendships, you may be reviewing, reassessing, or fine-tuning a dynamic with friends. You may be really looking at, do I still want to be a part of a specific group or a specific, organization? Do I still want to continue in this? Is it still right for me? You could be reviewing a dream that you've had. You could be letting go of a dream. You could be saying yes to a new cause or a new something that really is pulling toward your heart. This is the house of callings in its own way. It's like, this is what I'm feeling called to. I'm going to do it. I'm going to say yes. And by the way, I do have a book called The Magic of Saying Yes, Answering Your Heart's True Calling, that is perfect if you're in that place of really asking what's next for me and how can I manifest what I most want in my life? How can I move through a transition that's been very difficult? Perfect book for that. I have it linked up in my banner, on my YouTube banner, also in the description box below, description box of this video. So Scorpio, I think a lot of you are really, you could also get your wires crossed with a friend during this time. You could have to be wanting to have a conversation, or maybe time to talk with people that you haven't been talking to because you guys had some sort of falling out or miscommunication. So Scorpio, let me pull a card for you. Scorpio, during this Mercury retrograde, your card is the Peacekeeper. It says, let go of the need to be right. So look at this card. When I see this card, I see this animal in the background, which to me symbolizes stubbornness and like needing to have your own way. So for some of you, this is a very specific message. For some of you, you have sort of been stuck in your own ways or in your own thinking. And this is saying, oh, change your thinking. You don't need to be right. Would you rather be happy or be right? Right? They say, I think I got that expression a little bit off, but there's that expression in relationship, especially when we're with our lover, our spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Like, do you want to be happy or do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Anyway, you guys can correct me if I've got that a little bit off, but you get the idea. So this card is instead saying this Peacekeeper, this beautiful, lovely Peacekeeper is coming to you saying, it's time to create peace now. It's time to create peace in your relationships. It's time to create peace in your own mind, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your past. It's time to release any grievances, forgive, and move on, and make peace be your focus, beautiful Scorpio, because peace is what we all want more than anything, really, right? We all want that peace of mind, and that's where we can have true sweetness in our life, true calm, peace, and love. It all comes from love. Okay, Libra. Hello, beautiful Libras. Libra, you're having this Mercury retrograde in your 12th house. The 12th house is the hidden realms. It's the other world. It's where we have one foot in this material world and one foot in the earthly, one foot in this material world and one foot in the ethereal realm, the realm of the other worlds, the mystic, your divine self, your divine connections with your guides. It's ruled by Pisces. It's the oceans. It's everything is one. We are all one. This is the house of reset, perfect for a Mercury retrograde. It's the house of rejuvenation, retreat. It's the house where we can heal our subconscious mind, where we can rewire our mind. With a 12th house transit of Mercury, I would say, especially because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and that's this transit's happening in Virgo energy, I would say you are looking at a story about yourself. You are looking at perfectionism, perhaps. You are releasing something that has been felt tight or uncomfortable or just isn't self-loving. Something could come in from your past, from a past life, from a guide. This can also relate to foreign lands. So this could be about foreign travel for you or about moving to another country for you as well. This can actually bring in like requirements, visa requirements or documents or things like that that you would need, Libra, in order to do that or in order to take some sort of long distance extended travel somewhere. But big picture, this is about having some sort of inner awakening. So you can see this could either be happening for you on an ethereal level or on a like, this is a document that I need to find or I need to take care of or something, a hoop that I need, a legal hoop I need to jump through in order to go to another culture. Make sure you give yourself plenty of rest during this time. Make sure you give yourself the downtime that you need, Libra. And if you want to take a break and you want to take a trip, this is a great time to take a trip. Just know that flights can be delayed, things can get canceled and all that, but you know, all of that gets fixed. In the end, you just have to show up with a little bit more flexibility and a little bit more knowing that, yeah, Mercury's retrograde. Give yourself lots of extra time to get to the airport, all of that. Okay, so Libra, I've been shuffling the cards. Let's see what your card is. Libra's 12th house transit of Mercury in retrograde. Your card is, okay, two cards were stuck together, so we're going to do both. So the first one is mountains. Mountains and stand your ground. Another stand your ground card. Stand your ground. Be the mountain. Know that you deserve what you feel strongly that you deserve. Okay, that's the first card. The second card is the drum, dream and journey. I love this because this is like the both worlds. Like I said, you've got one foot in each world. Here's the earthly mountains. Here's the earthly mountains, right? Which is this world. And it says, stand your ground, set your boundaries. Don't trust yourself. Trust that what you know is right for you, what you need and all of that in your relationship, stand your ground. And then here we have the 12th house, other realms, drum card, drum and journey, dream and journey. So how cool is this? Stand your ground in terms of, you know, matters that you have to attend to in your physical world, but also go inside and let yourself enter the dream world. Go into the dream time, take journeys, guided meditations. I have guided meditation videos for you on my YouTube channel. I'll link to the playlist below if I remember to. I usually do. And allow yourself to go into that meditative place and to go on a journey so that you can activate and reactivate a knowing that this Mercury retrograde wants to bring to you, beautiful Libra, a knowing about yourself. There's something that wants to show itself to you that is going to expand your life, expand your mind, expand your awareness and your happiness, beautiful Libra. Okay, my beautiful friend, this has been a general reading of Mercury retrograde in Virgo. If you would like a personal astrology consultation, if you would like me to look at all of the transits that are going on in your chart right now, how the planets are affecting your life, how you can be empowered, how you can use this energy in the most empowering way for what matters most to you now, career, life purpose, your own relationship life, whatever it is for you, whatever your heart wants most now. We can do a natal chart reading, we can do a heart's desire reading, we can do a life purpose career reading. With all of my readings, I focus on what I see in your chart that is really remarkable to me, your gifts, your talents, your strengths, what you came here to work with, what you came here to grow in yourself, what you came here to manifest. And I also focus on not just the current transits, but also the future transits that are coming up. We have so much going on. We're entering a new era. We've got the nodes that have just changed signs. We have Pluto moving into a new sign. It's the beginning of a new era. We have a Venus retrograde, a Mercury retrograde. We have so much happening. I would love to be your guide and let you know how it's all affecting you and when any difficult transits, any challenging transits that you may be going through right now or that you have been going through for some time, when that is ending. So I invite you to go to my website and check out the testimonials from other clients who have worked with me and see what they've received from their readings. I also offer coaching. We can do a one-off clarity session, or we can do soul alchemy coaching, which is deep dive transformational coaching where we work together on an ongoing basis. To check out my coaching services, go to my website, go to my coaching page. It's all linked in the description box below. You can book any session directly on my website, and I very much look forward to meeting you on Zoom. Thank you so much for your time, presence, and energy for being here with me today. Thank you for your likes, your thumbs ups, your comments. I absolutely love connecting with you. Thank you for the shares, your shares of this video, and your subscribes. When you subscribe to my channel, it's a win-win situation because you don't miss a video on the next important astrology transit coming up. And your subscribe helps my videos go out to more people who love astrology, and you really help me grow my channel. So thank you so much for your support. As promised, I have a free gift for you. It is a soothing guided meditation. It will connect you to your inner guidance, to the unconditional love of the divine. To receive this instant download, all you have to do is subscribe to my free inspirational astrology updates, the astrology of the week, and you will receive my soothing guided meditation as an instant download. Thank you to my Sunday chat friends for being here with me. I absolutely love communing with you, and I look forward to seeing you back here very soon. Until my next video, sending you all my love.